Hey there YouTube, we are back with another video. I know it's been a few days since I messed with this cedar chest, but this thing's been fighting me tooth and nail. The lid of it, I first used lacquer. Well, that stuff looked like crap because it was just drying up too fast. So I sanded it back off, and tried it again the next day with a bristle brush. Looked just as bad. So I wet sand, no, I sanded all that off, back off again. Then I'll use some polyurethane on it. Well, apparently polyurethane doesn't when the can's been opened, apparently it has a lifespan and doesn't last forever. That stuff looked like hammered dog manure. So I wet sanded that down and it looked a little bit better, but I just wasn't happy with it. So I went and bought sandpaper, 80 grit for the electric sander, and I sanded it back down to straight, sure enough, bare wood and restained it. That go around, it went on fine, except for some reason the stain was smearing. I don't know. Anyway, then the temperature the temperature here in Georgia has been hovering around 100 degrees. I turned the air conditioner off about 30 minutes ago, and it was, around 79, 80 degrees in here. And just in 30 minutes, it's went from around 79 to 88 degrees and probably gonna hit 90 in here after dark. But, it is what it is. And by the way, it is 9:54 right now, and it's probably fixing to hit 90 degrees in here. So anyway, it's been scorching hot outside, and for all I know, I don't watch the weather much around here because our weatherman, he's not that good. He's got about a 50-50 chance of getting it right. And then even when he's right, it's not really that good. But anyway, I told myself today we was gonna get something done on this thing regardless of the heat. So around 5:30 or so I went out there and I took the sander to it, and I sanded the rest of it all down. The little bit of trim here, some of it was popping loose because the glue would give up on it. So I went ahead and removed it. I've got it laying over there, and I'm gonna attempt. I think what I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna do that in a color called gunstock. I think that'll look okay on it. And by the way, y'all will be seeing that gunstock stain again. Which, I'll just go ahead and say, I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and move forward with the staining it, refinishing the stock on that Hawken rifle, and I almost decided to use this espresso stain on it, but that wood's kind of grayish, and I don't know if it'll sand out to a lighter color, but it'd be lighter than this, but it'd still turn out pretty dark. So I chose to go with gunstock, a traditional color. And by the way, YouTube, I did not mean to buy a stain that dark for this. I'm not sure how much y'all can really see on this, but this picture of what the stain should look like on the package here, on the can here, shows it brown but quite a bit lighter. But you see what it actually turns out. It turns out being pretty dark brown. And well, I mean I guess it's okay. I mean it's kind of like a fungus now that it's been there a while. It's just kind of growed on me. But all right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm not gonna make y'all watch me and finish staining. I'm not gonna make y'all watch me stain the whole front of it and this side and this other leg that we made. I'm not gonna make y'all do that. I'll let y'all see a little bit, then we'll cut the camera, and then when we come back from the cutting the camera, it'll be time. It'll maybe time maybe time to it'll be yeah. It'll either be time to start putting the clear polyurethane on there, or it could be time to end the video. We'll just have to see. Alright, YouTube, let's get started. Actually, we're going to pause that video because I want to smoke before I do that, and I don't want to exactly smoke while holding that can of stain. Alright, YouTube, let's get started. By the way, YouTube, I only sanded this to the finest I went with. This was 100 grit sandpaper, and it's kind of tearing my rag up here a little bit. So I think 120, 150 be better. I tell you, this espresso stain, YouTube, you know, it might be a love-hate relationship. I love it at one point, and I hated it at the next point. By the way, I was reading about Lane before they went out of business in 2022, thanks to the pandemic and the Democrats in China, you know, for unleashing it on the world. They had recalled the locks on these things because there've been a few instances of kids, and you know, fitting this thing, they'd have to be pretty young kids, actually getting trapped in these things and dying. So I took the lock out, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to put it back or not, because now I don't have kids around here, and there's very few small kids that ever actually visit here. So I may put it back and I may not. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm gonna have to sit down and really think about it. You know, it might come as a surprise to some of y'all, but I actually do have a conscience. You can turn these lights on. That might help y'all to see a little bit better, YouTube. I know this video is kind of worse than my normal video, but you know, at this point, I'm kind of over this lane chest. You know, it's fault me the it's fault me the whole process. I'm just ready. I'm kind of done with it. I want it to be done and move on to something else. You know. Alright, I kind of got over it after I figured out that this thing probably should have just stayed in the trash pile on the side of the road. You know, by the way, here because of the bow and the wood, you know, these joints that were pulling apart, I did get glue in them and I managed to fill them. So, you know, they're still there, but they're full of wood filler, so, you know, maybe they won't be so noticeable. Oh yeah, and the leg I made for it, I do got that thing on here too, so, you know, pretty happy about that. It's about the only thing on here that didn't turn out just absolutely horrible. I mean, it's not good either, but it's better than everything else I've done on this. I'm lazy, YouTube. That's why I'm sitting in a chair. No, I just didn't want to have to bend over for this. Gotta wash my hands, YouTube. Yes, YouTube, I'm using a dish scrubber to scrub my hands. The reason I'm using the dish scrubber, because I'm out of carburetor and gasoline. See, all nice and clean, YouTube. We'll be back in a flash. Okay, YouTube, we got the fan set up there, dry, blowing air across it. So, I reckon I'm gonna let y'all sit there and watch stain dry. No, I'm just playing with you. Alright, we'll bring you back in a few. Okay, YouTube, let's get started putting on some polyurethane. Okay, YouTube, I'm not gonna make y'all watch all of that because it's gonna be pretty boring. But all right, I'll bring you back when it's done. All right, YouTube, it's all polyurethaned up. Well, the first coat anyway. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stay up late to do the second coat tonight or not. But if I do, I'm not gonna be recording it. It's getting late and I ain't had my dinner yet and all that. So next time y'all see this thing, it'll have its second coat of urethane. Its little trim pieces will be back on, and it will be finished and be given to my dad. All right, YouTube. Oh, by the way, that urethane seems to have turned out better than anything I did with the lid. So, pretty happy about that. All right, YouTube, I would appreciate it if y'all would take the time to like, subscribe, share, and comment. All right, good night, YouTube.